drumming my bed with his fingers, singing his words. Kill me with his song. These words give me song.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the program. Ash is out with the flu today. I encourage you to see. Yeah, there's Commander Cody over there in the background. You'll hear him from time to time. Welcome to the program. And if you're old, fat, or sick, stay home. The weather is out there. The folks are out there. Really coming in this morning tremendously foggy. In fact, I think it's the foggiest it's ever been that I actually came, certainly since I've been coming downtown. But it was, I had several analogous comments to make, but it was really dark this morning coming in, and visibility was extremely, extremely limited.
I think you need to turn the mics down.
It's a little hot?
Looks like it's a little hot. One of our visitors said it's hot.
You know why? Because
I tripped and broke the thing this morning.
No, I need to go back here. This is on me. This is on me. How do I go back to StreamYard and go to the?
It's in the very top.
And can I edit?
Yeah, you talk. I'll come do it.
Okay. I mean, I need you to. I need to go back to the. I didn't do the black magic. That's on me. Do we have to end the video to do so? Okay. So I don't want to keep going because it's extremely loud. But that's all good. I didn't do black magic on the video. Do I have to do that? The audio, there you go. And then right there. And just like that, we sound like $1 million again. So I apologize. I got here this morning. So much to talk about as part of the deal. And I apologize. Thank you for the instant feedback that the mics were hot. I hope you heard the now late, great Roberta Flack. Extremely famous for that song, Killing Me Softly. I've got a story on that song. She also, Clint Eastwood used The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face in Play Misty for Me in like 1973, 71, 73, which really catapulted her to stardom heights. The song, Killing Me Softly, was conceived and written mostly by a lady named Lori Lieberman. And she put the song out. It went nowhere. It wasn't until Roberta Flack recorded it that the song became a big hit. But the trivia there is that Lieberman wrote the song in response to being at a concert by Don McLean, the artist that sang American Pie, the artist that sang Vincent. And she, there he was, that young boy. Anyway.
Can you turn yourself up just a little bit?
Yeah.
Got multiple people saying they can't hear you.
Okay, so am I there now? I mean, I am not the sound wizard. That is usually Ash. Can you hear me now? Okay, as long as you can hear me. Judge Posey, first one in. Ricky King, second. Greg Garcia, Scott Tomko, Patrick Strauss, good morning, my brother. Torrin Bales, Rena Shear, Ryan Hopping, Marvin Mickus Jr., Sarah Elkins, Mark Kurtz, Micah Patton, Bobby Leister, Sherry Jacobs, Scott Snow, Wendy Hughes. Ryan saying the audio is painful. I hope it's better now.
I think that's old.
Junior Samples, Heather Stewart, Jordan Glass, Ricky King, H.R. Mallory, Bobby Leisher. Look, everybody's a cricket. Hot Mike, Hot Mike, Hot Mike. A lot of critics. B.J. Nelson, of course, Hot Mikes. Linda Chris, Zed Stewart, Stephanie Connie, James Kurth. I hope it's all good now. Lisa Poole, Carolee Smith. Good morning, my friend.
We got multiple. Sounds good to me.
Okay, good.
Junior's still on the fence, but I think that's just Junior being Junior.
There's the Honorable State Rep, House District 30, A.J. Louderback. Good morning, sir. Ricky King, turn up the mic. Jeff Finley, Matt Boucher. Good morning. Andrew Alvarez says he'll be in Brownsville today at the Cameron County GOP executive meeting. They open it up to the general public since he's going to be there. There's
I think it just took both of us to do what Ash normally does.
Well, and I miss Ash. And by the way, for those, thanks so many to so many of you who reached out. Ash yesterday morning just said he came in and the first thing he said was, "Good morning. I don't feel great." And Cody and I, and especially my lovely bride, Donnie, were like, well, then why is he there? Go home. So he did say he broke out into a little bit of a fever, and he just looked at me during the show and said, I don't think I can go, man. I got to go. It's Terry Murray. Great group. Mark Zapata, Amanda King, Peter McNally. Hello, sir, and thank you. There you go. Everybody now it's good. It's like butter. Everybody says they like Jarrett McCrugan. And I agree, H.R. Mallory, and hats off to you, my friend. He says, we expect certain things after 8 years, regardless of whether Ash is there or not. And that's fair. There are a lot, and Commander will back me up on this, even as somebody who understands the why behind the pressing of the buttons. There's a lot of buttons to push in here in the mornings. And if you don't, and I don't have a written checklist, I have a memory checklist, and I did not check to go. You would think that in 2025, there would be a way to make certain things default.
You would think so.
But there's not. It automatically reverts back to, so we've given you the Roberta Flack history lesson trivia of the day. The weather, of course, brought to you by our great friends at AT Dillon Feed. Encouraging you, I'm telling you, right now is the time to go by and buy the 21-7-14 blend. Get it down on your yard. This damp weather, it's a great time to do it. You're also in line right now to buy the Balan or Balan, B-A-L-A-N, pre-emergent. Put them both down. They don't counteract each other. One grows the good grass. One prevents the grass burrs.
Now, are those safe for your animals? Like if you have dogs or chickens or anything like that?
Great question. Now, when I put down the Balan, which it's kind of got a mustard seed color to it, kind of a golden brown. I watered it in once. It's real fine granules, and I've got 8 chickens, and I've still got 8 chickens.
Oh, that's good.
So now on the fertilizer, I just throw that down and don't worry about it. If they eat that, they'll just have green down.
8 chickens, then into 16 chickens would be cool.
Except that I'd require a rooster to do so,
or Balan.
Like if it just freaked them out.
Yeah,
that could happen.
Probably not.
But 50 to 76 today. Today's supposed to be a beautiful day. In other words, the fog should burn off. And when the fog burns off, we should have a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Without a doubt, the source of the day is the 1440 newsletter. If you don't get this, I find it to be unbiased, unvarnished news. Now, you'll hear people all the time say, I like to listen to Fox because they're unbiased. It's not true. Fox is just entertainment. They're simply there to bombard you with a lot of times right-wing stuff that they call, this is the real news. This is the no spin zone, if you will. 1440 seems to do a pretty good job of just reporting the news. I'll give you some quick hits. We are expecting a guest in a little while. That's going to be great. It's going to be super, super duper. It's a big, beautiful bill. What kind of bill is Trump trying to pass, Commander? You're on top of that. Former French surgeon Joël Le Scournac went on trial yesterday accused of sexually assaulting nearly 300 patients, mostly minors, in his country's largest sex abuse case on record. He was initially arrested in 2017 following accusations that he abused or raped 4 girls and was sentenced to 15 years in prison. While investigating, police recovered journals with accounts written by him detailing hundreds of other incidents. He's 74 years old and faces an additional 20 years behind bars. Very interesting. And I hope they ring him up. We talked about Roberta Flack. She passed at the age of 88. Let's see. She had back-to-back wins as Song of the Year, if you will, for the first time ever I Saw Your Face and Killing Me Softly. And she was quite popular for a while. Beautiful, beautiful voice, nice lady. Commander brought this to the table, and it's definitely worth talking about. Apple announces it's going to boost its U.S. investment, which is interesting since it's a U.S.-based company. $500 billion in the U.S. over the next 4 years, making its largest ever spending commitment. The initiative includes hiring approximately 20,000 new employees across multiple states, primarily focused on R&D, silicon engineering, and AI. A significant portion will fund a new AI server manufacturing facility in Houston. The Houston facility will produce servers supporting Apple Intelligence, the company's AI-powered personal assistant system, which I guess Apple Intelligence is going to be, is that the same as saying Alexa and Siri? Is that what we're doing there?
Yeah, it's the expansion of those things. You can pick up your phone and have it do tasks for you and stuff. It's like all this Chat GPT and
is that if you pick it up, Apple, mow the yard.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Our neighbor has this little mower that just cruises all day long and just mows and then goes back and charges for a while.
It's like a robot.
It's like a Roomba, but it's for the yard.
I kind of like that.
Pretty cool.
With my luck, it would get off into my flower beds and cut up all my flowers.
I'd get stuck in mud or something.
Yeah, just over there, just spinning out. Yeah. I've got a neighbor that just as casually as you can imagine, like you'll be at their home and they will say, Alexa, turn on the living room. And like different lamps come on and things. It just seems, to me, it's like, it's kind of creepy. Alexa, turn on the living room.
We have
Poof,
that at our
the
house.
lights come on.
Yep.
It would be cool if you could like poof, like the gas fireplace came on. It's Kimberly Tomacek out there.
The one and only.
That's right. It's going to come in.
Now, is she going to stand by you or is she going to stand in a normal spot?
This is not a, see if I was just a little sharper.
You're not.
What is Stand By Me? I almost came out like this is not the movie Stand By Me.
I'm with
She's
you.
going to stand over there where she always stands.
She's here. Should we
Well,
let
I
her
see her.
on?
No. I mean, we control the agenda here.
I believe
Sure.
she's in charge.
She is
She's
pretty
here.
much in charge, and she has a schedule to keep. So here's what we're going to do. I just cleared up the screen. You can walk straight through. Watch the wires. Commander Cody almost dismantled us this morning. We'll get to that in a moment. Very quickly, let me tell you about USA Concrete Coatings. If you need to sand it, seal it, stain, or paint it, let Charlie Garcia and his team help you. Reach out to 578-HOME and let them help you. Veracruz Restaurant. Today is Pre-Caldo Tuesday.
Pre-Caldo Tuesday.
Fantastic day to get in and get everything but Caldo. No reason to be upset. Caldo is only on Caldo Wednesdays. So get into Veracruz today for the best queso, the best guacamole, the best chips and hot sauce, simply the best salsa in town, period. The Dollar Floor Store, get by, 39-cent tile, all your laminates, all your hardwoods, anything you need for flooring, go by and see them. They're great folks. It's a family-run business. They're based in College Station. I mean, you can go in there and say, gig 'em Aggie. Somewhere in there's an Aggie. Go see them. Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. Allen's your go-to tow-to. Allen will get you from here to there without a care. Don't worry about it. My rhymes aren't very good, but at least I'm keeping you awake. Compadre's designed to promote your business I would wear a hat from Compadres that said Victoria Symphony on it. I would wear it proudly. I would gloat in my affiliation with the Symphony. I would show it off around town. Paravita Wellness, get in and get healthy. Let Erica Briggs custom design for you. You want to go high protein, low carb. You have a pre or post bariatric dietary need. She can help you lose weight. She can help you gain weight. You could go in there if you're an athlete. You need to do something high protein and you also need some carbs. She can do it. Custom made meal plans, cheaper than eating out of a bag and better for you than you can imagine. I'm going to cut to camera 3, turn up the mic deftly as I just chat up what I'm doing as opposed to just doing it.
Do we have any applause from the studio
You know-
audience? That's not.
No, we got laughter on that one.
That's
But
not
at any rate, they're laughing at you, not with you. We're joined by, I think now it's fair to say, our friend,
Absolutely.
Kimberly Tomacek. Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
Good, good. Tell us, first of all, I know you have reasons to be here, things to promote. First of all, tell us about Queen.
Oh, Queen was amazing. Thank you, Victoria, for the people who supported us so that we could bring Queen, but also the community who came. We had almost 1,300 people in the Performing Arts Center, and they were standing up and dancing and cheering and going on stage and conducting with our guest artists. They had a great time, and I had wonderful feedback from after.
I heard Brother Gary broke his hip at Queen. That's why he hasn't been up for a while. He was shaking it, getting
Was
loose.
he getting loose?
That's what I
Come
heard.
on, brother, man.
I don't know if that's true.
That would not be true because he didn't make it.
Oh.
He told me he had 2 other engagements and he hated it, but he did not make it. But I will
He's-
see him at 8:00 today.
Oh, there you go. And what do you have going? Tell us what's going on, and you know, just take the floor for a minute. You do a great job of telling people.
So what I have right now coming up is this Saturday. We have Westwater Arts is coming in, and we have been doing a photo contest in the community. It was September through December of pictures of old and new Victoria.
Oh, very cool.
And they are doing a montage behind the orchestra, and the orchestra is going to be playing. And so this is a tribute to Victoria.
So while the orchestra's playing, you're going to get to see the artwork of the folks here in town that contributed.
That's right. And some of them were professional photographers, but we even had kids who won.
Oh.
And
Commander,
so
can you later on, can you make us a slide of that? We can post that. And when is that event?
this is this Saturday.
This coming Saturday.
Can you leave that for me, or do you need it?
Absolutely. No,
Okay, cool.
I can leave this.
Perfect.
Okay.
So this is this Saturday. We have coming up March the 1st. You can go on our website, which is victoriasymphony.com. You can come in our office, which is 405 East Loma Vista, right off Navarro. Or you can call us at 361-576-4500.
Brent, pay attention.
I am. I'm 100% on board with her.
Yeah, so I've even invited the people in the city, the mayor, the manager, the city council, different dignitaries to come out. Superintendent, our new superintendent, which I've met. She seems wonderful.
Koyatsu.
Yes.
Nice lady. Super
Yes.
nice. We've had her on. Super nice lady.
Great. I really like her. I've been around her a couple of times. And so hopefully we'll have a great showing to those. But the next thing we have coming up is our fundraiser. And so we do one big fundraiser a year. It used to be called the Wine Dinner, but
Right.
this year it's called the Prickly Pear Affair. And so
Okay.
it's more country and laid back, more loose. And so I have some information about that. That's March the 28th. And it's going to be at Spring Creek Event Center.
Oh, very nice.
Yes. And so you can get your tickets already on our website as well, victoriasymphony.com. Tickets are $150 until March the 14th.
So that's
After
a full evening affair. That's a
Yes.
big time deal.
Yeah, it's like 6:30 to 11 o'clock. For those of you, we have food stations, we have games. We're going to have some unique things, some chicken bingo.
Chicken bingo. Okay.
Yeah, and so there's some really cool things. It's going to be not just a sit and get normally that you do from the wine dinner. It's going to be where you can actually socialize and visit with your friends and have a great time. So that's our big fundraiser coming up the end of March. And then I have Downtown Rhythms, which is a free concert on De Leon Plaza. And the great thing is we have Hot Rod Tour of Texas. that's
Oh,
gonna
very
be
cool.
Kicking off at Our
So all the
event-
cars will be there.
Yes, so all the cars are going to be there. So this is on April. It's a Thursday evening on April the 24th, and it's a free concert. We're going to have kids performing and the symphony.
This is at the new pavilion.
Yes. at
You know,
new-
the acoustics are so good there. That should be a great evening. A
Right.
free evening. Come on out
free.
and get acquainted with the symphony.
Yeah, the only thing there that you would have to pay for is they have food trucks. We'll have
Okay.
several food trucks.
Those are, to me, those are more of a convenience, right? Because
Right.
that's not an expense.
Well,
If
we
you-
did that at the Wade and Carter show.
Yeah,
That was
and
stop
we
walk
didn't
out
make
there.
any money off that,
No.
but we just let them come out and said, hey, somebody wants something to eat, let them get it.
Right. So that's our event that's going to happen. And it's a free concert. The orchestra will be there, but we also have some local kids that will be performing. We have Patty Walder Jazz Band that's going to be there. We have our college symphony that's going to be there. So there's multiple kid groups that are going to be performing along with the Victoria Symphony.
Awesome.
And then there's Crowbars. That is a band that the Hot Rods are bringing in that night.
Very nice. So Terry Murray, that works with State Rep Louderback said, good morning, Kimberly, with a big heart. And Junior Sample said that Queen was very, very fun and one of the best shows, and it was the best show in town. And Kimberly Bump said hi. So, Carrie Bump.
Carrie.
Carrie Bump to Bump,
Yes.
Bump, Bump. So
Yes.
good deal.
Great.
Michelle Wilson Hawkins says that when I was talking about Alexa, that her Alexa was responding to, Alexa, play 80s country. So right now at Michelle's house, Alexa is playing 80s country music.
It can hear
like
your
that.
voice. Yes.
Yeah, and it's
Kimberly, it looks like everything can be found at thevictoriasymphony.com. Looks
That
like
is
you can
correct.
buy tickets as well there and get all the information.
Cody will post that in the comments. And then also, if you want to give him a phone number, we've learned, don't give him your cell number because all of a sudden you'll get a bunch of
Oh,
calls.
no. 361-576-4500 is our office number.
576-4500. That's easy. It's almost like somebody went and said, no, that's not a good number. Try again.
One to easily remember.
Right. Absolutely. How are things? You seem excited, energized. Like this is you guys are doing great things. You want to leave that poster with me?
Yes. And I'll
Because-
do these as well.
Oh, you're fantastic. What we'll do is we'll make sure these things get made into slides and we'll put them up and make sure folks are aware of them in advance.
So I've had a really warm welcome by the community, by my board, just a lot of people. So I'm glad. It was a wonderful change. I love education, and I actually have some collaborations next year that I'm doing with the education in our school district to help it. But I feel like I've been placed where I am to make the impact that
Amen.
I can make. So
But you're also, to a degree, you are educating the community about the fun
Yeah.
of symphony. I'll admit, as a guy that grew up listening to Merle Haggard, when I go, oh, we're going to go to the symphony, I'm like, oh, boring, or oh man, well, I don't like opera. That's how dumb I was. But once you go and you, I can remember the first time that I heard or witnessed an orchestra performing what used to be the intro to the CBS nightly movie. And it was all these big strings and all that. And I went, oh, I never knew how they made that music.
right.
And once you see it and you experience live orchestra music, you will be impressed. Even if you don't like the music, you're going to be like, wow, those people have talent.
Absolutely. And one concert that I'm super excited about is next October. It's called Texas Gridiron and NFL. And so we're doing all the NFL theme songs.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we're gonna have a big tailgating party before and games. And we have our middle schools are gonna be playing like 2 minutes with the orchestra.
Very cool.
So it's a really big community. And what my goal is to show everyone that it's available to them and they can come and experience it. And music is very therapeutic. It's very good for the soul and the brain.
Absolutely.
There's so many things saying how beneficial symphony orchestra music is.
And
for
it's
you.
just a relaxation, right? It's a getaway. You're not watching it used to be you went to the movies to get away and relax. Now the movies make me anxious. There's always people dying and flying around. If you go to the orchestra, if you go to the symphony, you can just relax.
Yes.
And I think that, we can judge a government by its budget. We can judge a society by its commitment to the arts.
Absolutely.
And I absolutely applaud you for the work you're doing. And you had big shoes to fill. you know, you guys have just kind of gone to another level, and hats off to you, ma'am.
Well, thank you.
We
and I
appreciate you coming by anytime.
you.
You know, you're always more than welcome. She'll
Absolutely.
send, she's so thoughtful, Cody. She'll send a note. Would it be okay if maybe I'm like, please, you're invited. We want you to
Absolutely.
come by.
We have nothing else to talk about.
That's exactly right. It's either that or Germany's election, you know, so we'd rather talk to you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the door always being open.
Yes,
and y'all
ma'am.
are so wonderful.
You know, when you walk out, if their door is open next door, that's your mayor, Dwayne Crocker. Just knock on the door and go, hey, Mayor, am I going to see you at these events?
Are you coming this weekend?
Yeah. Yeah. Bring his lovely bride. She's a dream. We like the First Lady of Victoria. So
Great.
I hope you have a great week. Thank you for everything. And just come. You have anything else to add?
Nope, that's it.
Tell your wonderful husband, Daryl, that we said hi.
I will. He's on the road. I'm helping the fog.
Oh,
lift.
the fog's not good. Did you see
Yes,
it? It's
I know.
not
We
good.
were both like, be careful. We don't like anybody on the road, so be careful.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
you
you.
for coming by, and you come by
Bye-bye.
anytime.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. So that's Kimberly Tomacek. She's the director. She's the head Shaka Khan over at the Symphony.
She also didn't trip on the cord.
She
so
did
that's
not.
Good.
She did not. And Kimberly, that's John Paul Hull in the lobby. I think we're gonna drag him in here in a minute just because
That'd
we
be good.
can. Real quick, folks, White Trash Services and White Trash Site Services, 550-1826. Ricky, that's so rude. 550-1826. Have a trash-tastic day. Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends. Reach out to Palace and have a blast. Go in, support local charities. You'll have a great time. It's family fun. Go on by Palace Bingo. Chestnut Furniture. Chestnut and Love make your house a home. Commander Cody moving a chair. We got it, Chestnut. You'll see why you just always do better at Chestnut. Chestnut and Love do make your house a home. Atzenhofer and atzenhofer.com. Go by and see Tommy Taylor and tell him that Wade and Carter sent you. I think you'll be thrilled that your next vehicle comes from Victoria's automotive leader. Some things to talk about. I'm going to go back to the 1440 as a source. I find it interesting. That is good. Apple, 20,000 jobs in Houston with AI capability. For whatever it's worth, the University of Texas women's basketball team tops the AP poll for the first time in 21 years. Didn't seem like a drought, but to be near the top again is good for them. Do you want to come on the air? Do you have things you want to say? Well, you know you're always welcome. Come in.
Morning, sir.
So I'm joined alongside here. I guess when he's your landlord, he decides he's just coming in. You know, he's here
taking over.
unannounced, but here.
And welcome.
And welcome, John Paul Hull.
What's up, buddy?
Nothing. A handful of things to go through here. We wanted to talk about breast cancer analysis. Predictions are that 1 in 20 women, this is not good news, 1 in 20 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer during their lifetime.
Can't we start off with something more fun than
I
that?
just wanted to bring you right into it.
I was wanting to bring the party, not the
Well, but
downer.
here's the deal. There's some interesting stuff, and I have a question for the listeners at some point. You're talking about 3.2 million new breast cancer cases a year worldwide, with 1.1 breast cancer related deaths per year. And they're estimating this by 2050. Now we're in 2025. So my question to you, Cody, or John Paul, is if you're going to start making projections based on doom and gloom in the future, why can't we be predicting a cure by 2025? A breakthrough in the next 25 years?
I mean, that's a lob to try to get something by 2050, right? That's a guess.
I know, but for them to have these numbers, that 3.2 million new cases per year. I did find something that was said. My mother is a breast cancer survivor, 1979, still going strong. And so I've always followed more than closely cancer research. But I do find it interesting that the mammogram was first introduced in 1913. And with the perfection, almost the perfection of the mammogram, that's a great looking cap, by the way, down to the molecular level, it's worth noting that the number of cases and the number of breast cancer-related deaths have not been affected at all. The mammogram has not, percentage-wise, saved any lives.
You know, when you look at this camera, you realize how short I really am.
You're not short. You're just not on Ash's little box that he stands on.
Well, since we're making fun of John Paul, he's got his earbud in out too. He looks real cool. He's got one. There you go. He's got one
There you
side
go.
right, one side wrong.
He was just being cool. He was doing his, when you do your rap video,
Right.
and you've got to be able to hear the beat. You know?
I wasn't going to bring it up, but
But
since,
you
since he
did.
did.
But you did bring it up.
You can bring it up. I actually don't know how to get that back
You
around.
just flip it around.
Oh, there you go.
It flips around.
Ash probably did it before he left.
Starbucks laid off 1,100 corporate workers globally. They're going to eliminate several hundred unfilled positions. I guess they're afraid that Elon Musk is going to come after Starbucks. I don't know. I find that interesting.
Well, that report said they were paring down their menu some too.
Are they?
They're all over the place. They have a falafel at ours now.
Well, they have a new CEO, right?
That's
I think-
right.
Yeah, so I think he's making some changes. He got to
Is
make
that
some
right?
moves. Cody, it does sound better with the right ear.
Yeah. Federal employees are suing Elon Musk for demanding to justify their jobs. I don't understand why people are so bent out of shape. Now, you employ people, and you've employed people for years. Isn't it interesting that if every week your employee had to say, which we do this in the private sector all the time, you do it whether you do it formally or not. What have you done for me lately? What have you done this week to justify me writing this check on Friday? You find yourself, if you think that way when you go to work, what did I do today for the company?
No,
You're going to do more for the company.
for most people, we say send in a 2 or 3 point bullet point of what you did this week and what you plan to do next week. But if you spend more than 3 minutes on it, you're wasting your time.
Right. Because number one, you should already know what you're going to do, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you should basically have a plan.
But I saw today that they're calculating that the average employee makes 105 grand a year for the government.
Oh, for the government. Okay.
And
I was
then they
gonna say, no.
divide that by the number of minutes it takes to do a 5-minute bullet point.
Oh, and it's
then
costing $1 million
it's
bucks a
like-
week
it's
to
like
do this.
$8 million. I don't know the exact amount.
Yeah.
It was like
It's
$8
like the
million bucks.
penny. It's just not worth it.
What I found funny is how many people in Congress, both in the House and the Senate, who received this email because it went out over, .gov. Some of them sent back, I fought fascism, literally go screw yourself to Elon Musk. These are elected people. They don't report to Elon.
I mean, it's not that hard to make a 5 bullet point.
Yeah, but a
Status report.
congressperson, just couldn't quite get around to that. I thought that was interesting.
And I really think the reason why they're doing that is they want to see what emails even just get bounced back that don't even exist, right? So
Right.
then they know that those people shouldn't even be getting paid because they don't even have an email anymore.
True story. Very, very great. You can jump in anytime, and if you have some cool stuff to talk about, we definitely want to do it.
I don't have anything cool to talk about.
That's cool.
I had a whole bunch of Canada stuff notes that I wrote about for the next time I
Canada.
came. But it was really for Ash, not for you. So
Right, little country, kind of nondescript.
51.
I've never thought less of Canada than I do now with our 90-10 relationship. I mean, Canada just needs to shut up and be glad that we're
That's
here
the
to
one by
protect them.
South Dakota, right?
See, we can just pile on Canada right now because Ash
It's
isn't here.
easy.
Yeah.
It's easy. And I find it funny. Did you know that Ash, of course, he's not particularly sensitive. He definitely has thick skin. But Ash was really bombarded by some people when he wore his Canada jersey. Some people, not our listeners in general, but people that pick it up on the internet, whether you're on YouTube or whatever, they send him notes. Well, if you don't like him, why don't you go back to Canada? I mean, they were really hammering the guy over a hockey
Was
game.
it the jersey or the hat? I think it was the
probably
hat.
both. And there's not that many hockey fans on the planet anyway. So this is where a headline, this is one of the more benign headlines. It's in the Epic Times. But this is a typical headline regarding the other day at the United Nations. U.S. votes against Ukraine draft. I sound like Ukraine. I sound like Barbara Walters. U.S. votes against Ukraine drafted UN resolution seeking full Russian withdrawal. So Ukraine drafted a deal for the United Nations saying, hey, Russia needs to completely and unconditionally withdraw all its military forces from the territory of Ukraine within its internationally recognized borders. What's interesting about that is the only country you heard about that voted against that resolution was the United States. But it's worth noting 93 countries voted for it. 65 countries abstained, which just means I can't get on board with that wording. And 18 countries voted against it. The lady, her name is Dorothy Shea, who is our chargé d'affaires. So she's the person who goes to she's the U.S. mission for the UN. She said multiple resolutions of the General Assembly have demanded that Russia withdraw its forces from Ukraine. Those resolutions have failed to stop the war. We urge all member states, including Ukraine and Russia, to join us in this effort. The U.S. drafted its own resolution, a simple historic statement from the General Assembly that looks forward, not backwards. A resolution focused on one simple idea, ending the war. Now, that resolution, the U.S. drafted resolution, passed 93 votes to 8 with 73 abstentions. Some people said, I can't vote for that. The U.S. did it. Donald Trump did it.
So is it 93 voting for and 8 against?
8 against. And I look at it and say, but then you've got these guys, Representative Steve Cohen, a Democrat from Tennessee. He was not proud to be an American after the vote. So it just anything you put on there, it's kind of like we talk about. If it's the Fair and Equal Opportunity Act and you're against it, then you're a bad person. And if it's the Fair and Equal Opportunity Act and it's put together by a Republican, then you've got to be a Democrat and you've got to be disappointed. You've got to be disappointed because Orange Man bad. And if it's put in by a Democrat and it's got a bunch of pork in it for his district, Freedom and Equal Opportunity Act, which includes building a road to nowhere, and we've got to have people employed to do it on good union government jobs, then all of a sudden you're a bad person because you vote against that. Because who can be against fair and equal opportunity?
The naming of these things is amazing.
Absolutely.
Like, I want to be great, not good.
Right.
Act.
Right. And so the thing that's interesting is the focus has been that the U.S. voted against this, which essentially are the inference is that the U.S. is all for Russia being inside Ukraine. And that's not the deal. I don't know if this is hypocritical. I don't know if these things are diametrically opposed.
Let's assume it is.
Let's assume it is. I'll try to talk my way out of it. I look at being pro-Ukraine and saying that Ukraine has a right to exist as a sovereign country and that they are a precursor and a buffer to what's going on in Europe. And I believe that Ukraine is in an unwinnable war where it's only by the grace of Vladimir Putin that they haven't been nuked already. And at some point, this war is going to end without Ukraine taking over Russia, which they're not trying to do, but also without Ukraine keeping all its territory. Let's be honest. At some point, Ukraine's going to give in. The genius to me in this whole situation is Donald Trump. I saw a deal yesterday, that they were bragging that one country gave Ukraine $3.5 billion and another country gave Ukraine $8 billion.
And we gave
$350 billion. Now, when you get to 350, right now you're about 200 or 340 billion short. When you get there, call us, and then we'll jump back in.
This is the part of the show where Brent tells you how much 350 billion is.
It's just so much money. It's like John Paul Hull money. It's
mansplaining.
It's right. It's just
But
dumb
you're right.
amounts of money.
Here's what Trump's going to do is he's going to go, look, Ukraine, no more money's coming in. So you have two options. You're either going to lose the war or you're going to give up 20% of your land.
There you go.
And we're going to call it a day.
And at what point, if you're like a boots on the ground 18-year-old Ukraine man, you're going, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah,
I don't want to die out here.
How many people have died there? I mean, it's a
bunch.
lot.
And it's a romantic thought, you know, and I know our buddy Mike Atkinson, I agree with Mike that Ukraine is important, and it also does pave the way for, you know, it's like that old deal of they came for the Jews and I wasn't Jewish, so I didn't do anything. They came for the Ukrainians and I wasn't Ukraine. When they came for me, there was nobody left to care. We've all heard that story. The idea is that Europe, I agree with Donald Trump 1,000%. Europe needs to band together and support their neighbor. They're the ones that have borders with Russia. They're the ones that need to worry about Russia saying, well, gee, Ukraine went pretty easy. Let's just take over Western Europe. And the idea is they're all saying, well, it's easy because the U.S. is turning their back on them. And if you turn your back on us, then Russia might come after us. Well, you know what? Then get in the boat and row. We're tired of fronting all the bills all the time. That's the point to me.
Totally agree. And I think that plays into Trump's hand of America first, right? Why would we spend $350 billion overseas when we could spend it here?
Absolutely. And I keep coming back to, as long as the VA struggles to take care of our vets, as long as we don't have adequate mental health situations for folks, and as long as as long as there's homeless people that don't want to be homeless, the homeless that want to be homeless, fine, let them do what they want, but let them live out of town. They don't need to live in the middle of our city. Go live in the country.
And I saw this morning that I think Saturday was the lowest day in 15 years of people picked up illegally crossing the border.
Isn't that something?
I'm sure it's just a happenstance.
No, but yeah, I'm sure it's got nothing to do with the fact that Trump's rounding them up and sending them back.
Right.
It is interesting that French President Emmanuel Macron, who sometimes I like, sometimes I don't, he did say yesterday.
He dresses well.
He does. He is well dressed. He did say that Donald Trump is absolutely a game changer. And that's important. It's worth. I mean, I need somebody to be a game changer. The people that are all outraged about what's going on, and it's funny how the Democrats, they talk about things being unconstitutional and all that. They are absolutely fundamentally against the Constitution in general. They call it an antiquated document. Some of them call it a living, breathing document that morphs over time, that what it says isn't literal. What it says is not what it means. There's intent. The Democrats waffle on the Constitution all the time until it suits their moment to say, what Trump's doing is unconstitutional. And I'm just like, come on, that's dumb. Yeah, I like that, H.R. Mallory. What would you say you do here? Do you have a red stapler? I'm going to need you to come in on Saturday.
Who are you asking that to?
He's talking about the Elon Musk chatting to. Look at there.
What's up, Don?
Dawn says, good morning, JP.
Donnie, I got up to go fishing this morning and noticed that Brent was by himself, so literally he rolled by here before going to Rockport.
Appreciate you rescuing. But not to mention, it's way too foggy.
Not that I'm not sure I'm adding any value.
You look good, and that helps us when you look good. Brian Small says, where does he get to sit? He can't sit. If he sits, we can't see him.
P. Small, you're so funny, dude.
Oh, Matt Boucher says, outraged by entitled federal workers facing some level of accountability for their job is laughable if you've ever worked in the private sector. My agency operates on Doge every day. And everybody at my office, you asked them, make a list of things that, you know are happening at your, well, I know they read my emails. I know they tape my phone conversations. And I know that at some point every week, somebody justifies whether or not they need me here. If that doesn't motivate you, then you're in the wrong line of work. Go find a job that's more fun than work, and you'll never work another day in your life.
That's called retirement.
That's called retirement. There you go. There you go. Andrew Alvarez is going to be down in the valley today. He's going to get to go by and look at the border right away. Look at that. Dawn, how about Dawn Nicole bringing some value? What a great friend to go help him out. She says she loves your hat.
Thanks, Donnie.
I'm ready for, is it premature to unveil? Okay, it's premature.
We're like 2 weeks away.
Okay, 2 weeks away. Well,
It
Wade
took
Carter needs to be.
Took a year to get inventory, but we're getting close.
Right? There you go. He thought that was Triscatan. He said Chris Catan. He must be talking into, I don't know if you know Triscatan, great guy, very handsome guy, super guy.
Is he the comedian? Who is
No, he's the guy I'm thinking of is a Victoria guy that we've known here forever.
James Kurth, good guy.
James Kurth is a good guy. James Kurth always gives you a conservative view. It is interesting now. So this is New York Times, I think. So the New York Times.
Well, you better make sure and you
Yes.
credit where it's sourced
Because you
from.
know we have source Nazis among us.
Right.
Never mind that we always get a credible source, if you consider the New York Times credible. The Trump administration stormed into office, loudly firing workers and closing diversity programs. See, that's bad, right? Firing workers and closing diversity programs. The diversity is just so essential to what we do. Behind the scenes, it has also brought biomedical research to the brink of crisis by holding up much of the $47 billion the U.S. spends on the field every year. If nothing else, Elon and Doge have brought about an awareness of just the copious sums of money that are spent rightly or wrongly on so many programs in our nation every year. 47 million. And you know this to be true. Those people say, well, if you don't spend it, you're going to lose it. You better find a way to use that money, because if you don't, next year, they're always trying to cut. If you only spend $45 billion, that's all they're going to give you next year.
I mean, it's no different than the corporate world, right?
That's right.
Because at the end of the year, they go, we got to spend this,
We
or
got
we
to.
won't get it next year.
That's exactly right. It happens all the time, and it is folly. So I have a feeling that part of the U.S. holding up the $47 billion is because right in here, the agency has stopped vetting future studies on cancer, Alzheimer's, heart disease, and other ailments. So
All three of which you and I probably both have.
we probably have all that. What? I probably got Alzheimer's. But they don't. Trump aides have said they just need time to review their spending, spending their predecessors had promised. But it's unclear what they're looking for at the National Institutes of Health, or when scholars can expect to start receiving money again. Understand that the NIH is paying a price for Dr. Fauci. That's part of the deal. That's part of the pain that Trump wants them to feel. This is interesting. Spending money at the NIH, which awards 60,000 grants a year. Now, do you really think that an organization that sends out 1,200 grants a week, do you think they fully vet every one of those grants, or do they get a sappy letter from some organization looking for money and they grant that money? 60,000 grants a year. I can't, if I was Bill Gates and had limitless funds, I can't imagine going, I'll pay that, I'll do that one, I'll do that one, I'll do that one. Nobody is reviewing 1,200 grants a week.
It's got to be a who do you know?
It's got to be. And it's got to be a pat on the back, good old boy, you voted for me, here's some money for your research. It's got to be. Somewhere at the NIH, they've got to be trusting a credible source who said, John Paul's a good guy. It's okay. Go ahead and send him $50,000.
Agreed.
There's no way. 1,200 grants. You're talking about a staff that if all they did was review grants, 1,200 divided by 5,
5 days a week.
240 grants a day. 8 hours a day, that's 30 an hour. Every 2 minutes, somebody is approving a grant at the National Institute of Health. Is that a good spending of your tax money? Has it cured cancer? Has it cured Alzheimer's? Does your heart still hurt when you try to pick up what's left of your wallet?
Because then you need 100 people, and you need a manager and a supervisor.
And a committee,
Yeah.
and then you've got to have a buffet every day because they can't really leave their desk. I just don't buy it. 60,000 grants a year. But here they go. They go down here. Scientists are panicked. There's not 60,000 credible scientists in this country. You can pick the top 4,000 or 5,000. 4,000 or 5,000, right? 100 scientists from every state. And let's send them money, but not 60,000. Scientists are panicked, and hundreds of studies are at a standstill, including ones on pancreatic cancer, brain injuries, and child health. Cry me a river. Last week alone, the NIH canceled 42 of 47 scheduled meetings to assess new grants. Some examples for stalled projects include, for years, Stephanie Strathy at the University of California, San Diego, has followed drug users to research overdoses, which kill some 100,000 people in the U.S. each year. Her investigation of HIV infections in that group was ready to begin. So here you got it. People that are dying of drug overdoses, how many of them have HIV? But it came to an abrupt halt when the NIH canceled a review panel meeting this month. Everybody is absolutely frozen. That will stop the spread of HIV.
Which I'm going to derail you for a second.
Please do.
When we were kids, HIV was a death sentence.
Oh, now Magic Johnson still plays basketball.
Right.
That's over.
Because now they know that you can get an injection.
I think you're doing great.
But you can get an injection now, and
Oh, yeah.
you're fine. But it
Very
was a death
expensive,
sentence in
but
the
it's-
90s
But it might be
or 80s. I don't
in
know.
part because there's been extensive research. Things you don't hear about anymore. Mario Cuomo, the Las Vegas shooter, HIV, COVID's kind of gone away. Everybody's just got the flu again. Ash has the flu today. He doesn't have COVID. He's got the flu.
I think that flu is bad this year.
I
The
think it
people
is
I know
too.
that have had it have been down for 2 weeks.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
I can't afford to be down for 2 weeks.
No, I can't be down for 2 weeks. Anthony Richardson at the University of Pittsburgh was expecting a review panel to weigh a grant application on his on staph infections in people with diabetes. Okay, that's bad. If you have a hard time healing, a staph infection for somebody with diabetes is bad. A disease that afflicts more than 1/10 of Americans. It never happened. I'm not 100% sure what their motives are, he said. How much do you need to study staph infections in people with diabetes? If you've got diabetes and you have an open sore from a staph infection, you got a problem. There you go. Send me
If you're
one
old,
of those.
what's
If you're
your-
old,
what's-
fat, or sick, stay home. And if you're going to school, sit down, shut up, and learn something. That's about how hard it is. Yep. Unbelievable, people. 60,000 grants. I challenge anybody, no matter how liberal you are, to explain to me how that makes sense, that the National Institutes of Health sends out 60,000 grants a year, and one of them was for over $3 million to the Wuhan lab in China. That's where one of those grants went.
That's where the bat stew was from. Right?
There was a study. It was a joint grant between, what's the guy's name with the big hair, the chef,
Big hair, don't care.
Hell's Kitchen.
I don't know.
What's his name, Cody?
TB.
We know that guy.
I think I talked to Torrin last night about this. I think that people are going to be shocked at how many companies are laying off people that they don't know, that they think that the economy just now is turning bad.
Well, here's what's
to
interesting.
to start laying off people, the economy had to be bad for a long time. It's not like you go tomorrow, I'm going to lay off 1,000 people.
No, but I think part of it, JP, is that Starbucks has realized that for maybe 5 years they've been top heavy, but they can lay off 1,100 people right now, and everybody blames Donald Trump. Right. Nobody blames Starbucks. Everybody blames Donald Trump. Their CEO, the guy that's accountable for the bottom line, he went, it's a good time to get rid of some dead weight.
Right.
Are you talking about Gordon Ramsay?
Gordon Ramsay in a joint bat stew confliction with the Wuhan lab. That's where COVID came from. That's my latest prediction.
What's up, Funky Trey Molina?
Funky's in the house. Good morning, buddy.
Good friend.
He says he's late to the party. You're never late. That's the great thing about Wade and Carter, is that you can listen to us live from 7 to 8 here on Magic 95.9, on YouTube, Facebook,
Our website.
our website, which is now updated and cool, or you can listen to us afterwards, as you often do, my friend.
I do.
You go in and I'll get these random texts, like I'll be driving and it'll just say JP and he'll say, "You're an idiot." That's how I know he's listening to the show, is that I said something that,
Yeah, because I can't comment live like these guys are.
Yeah.
Because I want to tell you you're
That
an
I'm an
idiot,
idiot?
in real time.
yeah, I appreciate
Instead, today I just showed up to tell you you're an idiot.
And
in real
I,
time.
and I appreciate that. Don't leave me hanging. What are you so you're going to leave here and go down to Rockport as soon as the fog lifts?
The fog lifted already.
Okay, good.
You can't see because you have these windows blocked out.
Well, we have to, because the sun this time of year, it just drifts across. It just
In this
really,
beautiful,
Isn't it
amazing
beautiful?
building.
It is. We don't laugh
Beautiful.
about that. The acoustics are fantastic. The building is beautiful. It's great. No, this is beautiful space. And yeah, I mean, and here's what's great. We leave at 8:00, and right now there's open offices here. If you need one office, or if you need an adjoining office, you have a team or an assistant. There's offices down here. That one that has the pass through, you
Right.
could have an executive office with a conference table, and you could have 3 desks in the other office.
Correct.
Very reasonable. Come on,
Jimmy
down.
Zaplak will lease those to you.
JP does not have a brother named Danny. No,
Do we need to take a break?
we could.
Is that a joke?
Look at Dawn. I think somebody hacked Dawn's account. I've never heard so much positivity. Look at that. JP did an amazing job on that building remodel. It's a little known fact. Torrin Bales actually remodeled this building, and he did a great job.
There's only 4 people that get that joke.
Did Torrin do the green tape? That's my favorite part.
He did, and
Okay.
what else? The tape that holds up the alarm system downstairs. The other thing,
The mayor
is
asked me about that last night. by the way.
Torrin did such a great job when he remodeled Moonshine. Let's take one last quick break. The office is here at 205. No kidding. If you want to come down, give us a call. I'll meet you down here and show you around. Call me. You've got the number, the 894-4020. You just call us. I'll meet you down here and show you around this office. Brand us. Commander Cody can help you in so many ways, from redesigning your website to monetizing your Facebook page to helping you. I mean, he helps people all the time. That's how we met. He reached out and said, "Hey, you guys are struggling. Let me help." Mom, glad you could make it. 3 minutes till 8, my mom woke up.
Hey,
She's
good
like,
morning.
"Oh." There you go. Our chopping block this week. Okay, where'd my phone go? It's under here. Let me
Well,
tell you what's going on at the chopping block.
Chopping block. We get the wings all the time. They're amazing and
Yes.
easy. You just pop them in the oven
Or the air fryer.
and we serve them like when we're down in different places and we have big groups. They're great to make, and steaks are amazing.
Oh, yeah. No, their meat.
All
their
right,
meat
so
is
it's
incredible.
an epic sale week at the chopping block. Ribeye is $13.99 a pound.
There you go, because I lost him. Tuesday. Today's Meatloaf Tuesday, right?
Fajita meat, $8 a pound. Bacon wrapped fillets, $7.50 each. In a hurry, call them. They'll bring their order out to you. That's curbside service right there.
Meatloaf Tuesday on the trailer. Fajitas at $9.99. Hanger steaks and fajitas, $5 off. Prime tomahawks makes them $19.99 a pound. And I tell you what, those prime tomahawks are considerably more expensive at other places. I do know that. What happens is, Linda Chris says the meatloaf is the best, and it is good. So here's what happens. You have time for a thought of the day. You inspire our audience. You do it. We have time for one more comment from you.
No, I would comment on your sponsors and some of the people like Alan Miller for Allen Record Service. There's people like that, Tommy Taylor at Atzenhofer, that are people that have gone out of their way to help me, not publicly, but behind the scenes. And that's amazing to be associated with some of those guys.
It is funny, or not funny, but it's worth noting that over time, it seems like all of our sponsors, they're not only the blue blood, best of the best businesses, many of them like Cheswick Furniture, over 100 years old. Tommy Taylor and Atzenhofer, 1 year away from being 100 years old. But they're long-term, family-owned, operated, managed, boots-on-the-ground businesses. They're all family businesses.
Yeah, but if you had a problem with towing and you called Alan Miller, he's going to answer the phone.
Absolutely.
And he's going to call me back.
Same thing. You look at BJ Nelson and Scott Nelson at White Trash. They work in their business, every day, just like we do in ours. So,
Absolutely.
hey, folks, it's the top of the hour. I'm going to try to get JP to commit off air. I won't put him on the spot. You'll come back tomorrow maybe just for a little while, just say hi.
I'm probably not going to be in town tomorrow.
Oh, look at that. He's a dual citizen. He'll flat leave. So what you can do before we go is on the far right, there's a button over there. No, the knob, the switch, the slide. Slide it about halfway. Go ahead and push that bottom right button. No, not that one. On the purple button over the bottom one, the right one. There you go. Just like that, folks. See, it just basically runs itself, this program. Love you guys. Hope you have a great day. JP, thanks for stopping by. Best landlord on the planet.
I've been kicked
Talk to you
out
guys.
of my nest
Junior says he's always available.
all around.
Good Lord, Junior, we know that.
Junior, you're great.
Talk to y'all later.
Locked up
Bye,
for
folks.
Driving 120 through town. I've been shot at and cut with a knife, messing around with another man's wife.